I stopped the converting.
Okay.
It'll
Just
say
trying to
no
find some
now.
light at the end of the tunnel.
I hear you.
We're using my phone right now for internet.
All right, we'll reconvene. Apologies for loss of internet for those of you joining us online. We got a workaround, but we should be back. So, kind of resume discussions.
I was just going to ask Darren, we don't have a choice. This is something that we have to do, correct?
Correct, yeah.
I mean, you could not raise it and then just incur those costs in the
Yeah,
city,
yeah,
but that is the other, that is the other option.
Yeah.
You know, the disheartening thing is every time we think we're getting a little bit ahead, like the improvements with the meters, the variable frequency drive water pumps to cut operational costs, where we think we can keep costs down, you know, it's out of our control where they raise our rates to where we're hoping to where we can give citizens a break. I mean, it's just getting, people can't afford it.
That's what I was talking about during our break. There was, for the new council and the new mayor this coming year, is looking at where we put the EMS charge at when Aberdeen was our response for our fire. So that may be something we either stay the course or possibly look at taking some of that back to help with this. 10%'s a lot. That's all I got.
Without further discussion, what is the council's pleasure on resolution 2023-13?
I make a motion, we pass.
Oh, we already got a motion.
Oh, you do?
All in favor?
Oh, sorry.
Wait, what? All in favor?
All in
Yes.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So passed. Moving on to ordinance 1389, 2024 budgets.
Ordinance number 1389, an ordinance adopting the budget for the city of Cosmopolis, Washington for the fiscal year ending December 31, 2024.
The council has the budget presentation, and as presented during the workshop, what is the council's pleasure at this time?
I make a motion that we pass ordinance 1389, 2024 budget. And they can work on it after we're gone. True, you know, what are you gonna do? You got nowhere else to go.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
A second.
Motion and second to approve ordinance 1389. Now open for discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So passed. Ordinance 1390 regarding the 2023 budget amendment as discussed earlier.
Ordinance number 1390, an ordinance adopting an amendment to the budget of the city of Cosmopolis, Washington for the fiscal year ending December 31, 2023. And this deals with Macarenco Park Operating Fund.
And can you touch on this, what this is?
So originally in 2023, we did not budget anything for the operating fund for Macarenco Park. For one, the fund was starting off in the hole and we weren't sure how much interest we were going to get. Fortunately, interest rates ran pretty high this year. So the fund not only got out of the hole, but we were able to spend some of those funds in the park. So we're going from a zero budget to a $10,000 budget for the fiscal year 2023.
Is there a motion on this budget amendment?
I move that we pass it.
Second.
Moved and seconded to pass ordinance 1390. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And just to make a comment, I know that the passage of the 2024 budget was done begrudgingly and difficult, and every finger and toe that I have is crossed that at the start of the year, we've got a budget amendment that we can adjust and not go through some of those difficult decisions, but as it sits. Item F on the agenda, Region 3 Addendum Mutual Aid Agreement. Chief, if you wanna talk on this a little bit?
Absolutely, sorry for my disruptions.
No.
So in, I believe it was June of this year, you guys approved the Homeland Security Region 3 Omnibus Mutual Aid Agreement. So this is between Grace Harbor County, Lewis County, Pacific County, Mason County, and Thurston County, and the government agencies within those counties for us to be able to transfer assets in times of emergencies and be able to use each other's equipment. That agreement is set on a 4-year cycle that it gets renewed every 4 years. So it was set to expire at the end of this year. We drafted a new agreement in June as a region, and it's still within the 5 counties' attorneys just kind of finalizing it, figuring out where they're gonna finalize certain things. So as we're approaching the end of the year, we drafted up a 6-month extension to the existing agreement. So we'll be coming back mid-year with the new omnibus agreement for the new council to approve. And most of the changes that are going to be in it are actually driven toward Mason County and outlining some of how the cost reimbursement comes into play, because this doesn't necessarily define it as much as Mason County's attorney would like to see it defined. So that's why you guys just approved it 6 months ago, asking for it again tonight, and we'll be asking again in another 6 months.
What's the pleasure?
Make a motion, we approve.
I second.
Motion and second to sign the Region 3 Addendum Mutual Aid Agreement. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So passed. Item G, the interlocal agreement for automatic structure fire response, and back to you, Chief.
Yeah, so we talked about this in the last meeting. This is formalizing the new mutual aid agreement. As you guys know, we terminated the agreement with the city of Aberdeen for fire response back in September, so there's no longer a charge occurring there. This is a true mutual aid agreement between the 4 agencies: City of Cosmopolis, City of Aberdeen, City of Hope, and the Grace Harbor Fire District 2. And this outlines immediate response for initial structure fire dispatches. What this is really doing is helping all of us make sure that we have adequate resources coming on those initial alarms. And it's going to help significantly this next year when we get rated by the State Insurance Rating Bureau, because when we have Aberdeen coming on their initial alarm, their ratings now apply for the city. So their credits that they earn for the Southside station apply over here. Similarly, our credits apply to Southside Aberdeen. So this is that formal agreement going into play. One thing that we did add that wasn't previously discussed in the council meeting is adding in a portion of Grace Harbor Fire District 2. So they're trying to get their district completely covered with mutual aid agreements to close their Montesano station for coverage. It's a very small zone, it's kind of Blue Slough up until Montesano along 107. So we've agreed to be added to that on their initial structure fire calls for that section. In return, they will be coming to all of our second alarm fires in the city of Cosmopolis.
Which Montesano station? That's not Central Park.
So Central Park has 4 stations. They have the Central Park Station, Brady Station, Waimuchi Station. Then they have a Montesano substation that they have to have for Insurance Rating Bureau. So it's kind of behind the Chevron station where they just put in the new Monty Fitness. It's right in between Chevron and that new Monty Fitness. It just has an engine in there to keep their insurance rating. They want to close that. So that's why they've done a new mutual agreement with Aberdeen up to Clemens Road.
Gotcha.
city of Monsanto up the other direction to Clemens Road, and then District 5 on the other side, so.
That makes sense. I was trying to picture it in my head and I couldn't,
Yeah, it's just a little pole barn, and it's weird that it's in the city limits, so it confuses a lot of people. Yeah.
So they just want us to, basically cover Blue Slough and toward Montesano direction, is that what?
Yes, in conjunction with them. They're still covering, we're just assisting so that there's 2 engines dispatched on that initial alarm.
what is the council's pleasure on this mutual aid agreement, this interlocal agreement?
I move we sign it.
Second.
Motion and second to sign the interlocal agreement for automatic structure fire response. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Council comments this evening.
Can he do his report still, or do?
Oh, yes, sorry, you stepped out, yeah, while I got you,
No, I didn't have much to report. I just wanted to update. We do have 6 candidates starting Fire Academy January 4th. So they'll be going to Westport for that. And then we have 2 candidates starting EMT school January 2nd. They'll be going to Aberdeen for that. So we're excited to get those trainings going. You already talked about Saturday, or?
No, I actually forgot to mention it. Nick and I together, for about a decade now, we've done our little Operation Senecop is what we've called it. But last year, it became Operation Senecop / firefighters. Santa riding on the big red truck. So after we deliver Christmas to 2 families in the community at about 10:30 a.m., we're gonna be doing I hate calling it a parade, but it's gonna be a parade through a route through town with Santa on board the fire truck, being escorted by some police cars, with an opportunity for some kids to get some candy canes and spread some holiday cheer. It's posted on our social media for the route and more specifics on the time. So if you know somebody that's interested, or you're interested, and you want to be along the route and get a candy cane for a kid and let them see Santa Claus riding aboard the big red shiny truck, we'd love to have you join us.
perfect, thank you, Chiefs.
And I'd like to recognize Councilmember Spargo for doing that this past weekend. He, it sounds like he's gonna be back in town this weekend. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Can I skip a question, please?
You can do whatever you
Nick,
like.
would you repeat what you said at the very beginning about the number of staff, like the candidates?
We have 6 candidates going to the Firefighter 1 Academy in South Beach. That starts January 4th, and then we have 2 going to EMT class in Aberdeen starting January 2nd.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Council comments this evening. You want me to start on that side or the other side?
Other side.
Councilmember Rancich.
Sorry.
See ya.
May I report? No.
Adios.
Will you let
Bye-bye.
me-
Councilmember Collette,
He,
floor is yours, sir.
Well, I'd just like to, thank the council members that are leaving. I think you guys did as good a job as possibly could be done with the situation at hand. And that's it.
Glad to have you on.
I'd like to thank him for leaving too.
he already had his chance.
It's a council, I'm not gonna stop you now. The floor is yours, ma'am.
I thought I would see tears in your eye.
Oh, yeah, joy.
No, totally opposite. And
You
do
thought
you
wrong.
feel lucky that Julie didn't have to say anything nice about you? Because you would have been hard pressed.
I said nice things before the meeting.
There's more mean things I can say.
Moving on.
I think Donna wants to talk.
No, I am not going very far. I am not going to be on the council, but I will be in the audience, so I can say
Great.
what I want to say, although you let me do that pretty much anyway. So, it was great, even with you.
Councilmember Carlisle.
I just want to say I've loved working with all of you, and I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas.
And go back to public comments. Anybody from the public with a comment? Floor is yours.
Me again. Nick, do you have somebody that volunteered to Santa?
Santa is gonna be there. I don't know what you're talking
Because I'm sure
about.
Jim's
Santa,
available if you,
Santa is gonna
ask
be
him.
there himself.
We have,
look
we have
at
Yes,
Santa.
Santa was available.
maybe they need
Santa's
extra
there.
spare. Take Jim.
Any other
What did I
comments
do
from the
to you?
public? Yes,
Hi, my name's Kim Gurn, I live at 1623 Turnberry Street. I wanted to draw attention to City Ordinance 1336, and it talks about park hours. And they're listed as 6 AM to 10 PM. And that's awesome, I think that's great for Mill Creek, Macarenko, for walkers, joggers, but Olympic Terrace Park and Highlands Park are adjacent to homes. I think that's too early and too late to be open. So I would suggest that we maybe modify those two parks to maybe 7 to 9 for the hours. Then that's not, there's some ruckus in a couple of the parks that the neighbors are not happy with. So that could probably take care of that. And then,
I would say, I mean, that's gonna be something that would go in front of the Parks Committee, and I don't know what the incoming mayor's plans are with that, but there may be openings, if you'd like to bring that discussion as an official member. That is
well,
up
I'd like
to
to
the
put it
incoming.
out there and we can table it to 2024. How's that? That's what everyone's saying this week at work. So, the other thing is an update on Olympic Terrace Park. We had a work party there on Saturday. It's worth driving by and taking a look. Looks like somebody dusted and vacuumed and cleaned things up. We have chips that were spread. We had a volunteer deliver 2 loads of chips from Cosmo Specialty Filers, and then we spread those out on Saturday. And then Dan Bonnell came and trimmed up some trees that were hazardous with some limbs that were dead. And then there's another tree there that could, it looks like it might be a hazard for the power lines, and the PUD is gonna come remove that other tree. All of this is no cost to the city. Again, just all volunteer work, so keep your eyes on things up on the hill.
Thank you. Yes,
Linda Springer. I just want to thank Kim. So recently we had a board meeting for the Friends of Highland Park for a nonprofit. It's a little hard to step down from that, so understand when you put your blood, sweat, and tears into something. But we have a new board. Kim has stepped up. She's one of our board members and a treasurer on the account on our nonprofit account. Great group. I think you're gonna see them continue to make great progress at little or no cost to the city moving forward. Thank you, Kim.
any other comments from the public this evening? Anything at all?
Thank you all for serving. So you can.
I'm just milking this for as long as I can.
I'm trying.
Thank you, everyone. Call this meeting to a close, 8:06.